Today we have a very special treat for you. We will have Dharma talk, meditation, and chanting. The program is called Generosity, Impermanence, and Change. And our wonderful presenters will explore, especially our lead teacher, Arisika, will explore some of the ways in which our perfectly imperfect bodies and our earth, which, as we all know, is experiencing catastrophic change, can serve as meditative anchors that bring us to liberation. Before I introduce our presenters, I wanted to remind you we will have an opportunity for questions. You can place those in the Q&A or chat box, and they're in the bottom of your screen. You just click on it and bring up either the Q&A or chat box, and you can put your question there, and Arisika will field those. So I'm a huge fan and lover of this first presenter. Arisika Razak is the former chair of the Women's Spirituality Program at the California Institute of Integral Studies and is a core teacher at the East Bay Meditation Center in Oakland. Her teachings incorporate diverse spiritual traditions, embodied wisdom teachings, multicultural feminisms, and contemporary diversity theory. She has facilitated spiritual healing and empowerment workshops for over 35 years. And I can attest to the fact that she has made a huge impact on my life and spirituality. Evely Delfino Sales Posh is a devoted chantress. She chants in 34 languages, certified sound therapist and pranic healer, music teacher, sacred song composer, and ritualist. She's been singing all her life according to her mother and first teacher, Divinina. Evely's music ministry brings her to assisted living and rehab centers, hospitals, retirement homes, and prisons. So without further ado, I would like to turn it over to Arisika and Evely. Welcome.
Welcome, kinfolk. I'm so glad you're choosing to join us today for this hour. It's wonderful to see you all. Just to give you a brief overview, as was said, we're going to have chanting, we're going to have silent practice, we're going to have a little bit of poetry. The Buddha taught that meditation could be done sitting, standing, or lying down. So especially in the privacy of your home, we want you to honor your own body as we go into the silent practice. If you need to lie down or recline, that's totally fine. If you want to stand or if you want to do a little bit of moving, that's also fine. Meditation is basically, or mindfulness is basically coming into awareness and openly and non-judgmentally into the present moment. Silent practice is one of the ways we do that. Chanting and singing is one of the ways we do that. Um, Fasting and prayer, drumming, all those are forms of mindfulness and meditation. And to get us started this morning, I think that we're going to have a song from Evely. And in Buddhism, the three jewels are the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. And I think the song that Evely is singing, traditionally one takes refuge in the three jewels. Excuse me. And she will be singing to us. So go, Evely, turning it over to you.
God bless you.
I take refuge in the Buddha, the one who shows me the way. In this life, I take refuge in the Dharma, the way of understanding and love. I take refuge in the Sangha, the community that lives in harmony and awareness. I take refuge in these three it a little bit here, and I call on Tara as well. The green Tara. I take refuge in Tara, she who shows me the way in this life. I take refuge in her wisdom, the way of understanding and of love. I take refuge in her temple, the community that lives in harmony and awareness. I take refuge in all these jewels, in perfect oneness of body, heart, mind, and soul. I take refuge in these three jewels, in perfect oneness of body, heart, mind, and soul.
Thank you so much, Everly. Um, I'm, I know we got a request that the sound was a little soft, so I've upped my volume, and I will ask you, Everly, to do that. Thank you so much. So just let's pause for a minute and just let the reverberations of that song wash through us. Tara is the female liberator. She vowed as a bodhisattva not to go on to nirvana, but to reincarnate time and time again, always in the feminine form, in the body of a woman, till all beings were free. So I want to say that the idea of liberation and liberation from oppressive social issues is very much a part of Buddhism. The Buddha abolished caste, and that discrimination, that ill treatment was totally, very, very oppressive. Dalit people could be killed for trying to listen to the suttas. So as we go into our silent practice, I want to say to everyone that we're following a way that's 26 years old. We're engaging in practices that go back more than 2 millennia, and that as Buddhism changed and evolved and went through many, many countries, its customs, its traditions also changed. And the Buddha said, when asked about making his teachings only available in priestly language, that he refused. He said, no, the Dharma should be translated so that it was freely accessible to everyone. So let's come into our bodies. Mindfulness, the Buddha taught, could be found by meditating on the body, on the movement of breath in and out of the lungs, in feeling movement, the movement of hands, of feet, one step in front of the other, noticing the ball of the foot, the toes, noticing, stepping, lifting, placing. So I want to say we're calling this silent practice. And as I said, it can be done in a variety of positions. And if you want to stand, feeling the weight of the body, shifting the weight side to side in silence, that's also a form of meditation. For some of us, we begin with the breath, and the breath may be accessible by placing the hand over the chest or the belly so that we actually feel the movement of breath into the lungs, feel the movement of breath into the chest. Or we can feel the weight of the hands on the lap, the weight of the hands, one hand in the other, the weight of the body on the body. And the movement of sound rising and falling, the hum of the computer, or the soft gaze the eyes lowered or softly closed. Pick one of these sense anchors, the body, the breath, the rise and fall of sound, or movement, and we'll begin. And I'm going to ring the bell as we begin. As we practice, thoughts may arise, regrets, anticipations, doubts, or fears. The mind secretes thoughts like the mouth secretes saliva. Lets the thoughts rise, come to the surface, and then like waves rolling in the ocean, let the thoughts recede and come back to your anchor, the breath, the body, the soft gaze, the rise and fall of sound. As we practice, bodily sensations arise: itching, burning, discomfort, pain. If you need to adjust your body to be more comfortable, please do so. If you are practicing with chronic pain, you might just notice the attention: burning, 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 aching, aching, aching. You might imagine that your own loving awareness is centered on the part of the body that is giving you pain. If either of those are helpful, continue the practice and shift your focus, seeing if you can become the witness, the observer of what is occurring in your body, and seeing even the sensation of pain rise and fall away in the moment. As we come toward the end of our silent practice, I invite you to put one hand over your heart. Just notice the quality, the temperature of the air you are breathing. Feel the earth beneath your feet. Feel the sky above your head. Let's give thanks in this moment for our being alive. Let's give thanks for the earth that did not shake us off in the night. Let's give thanks for the gift of life and love and beingness. Let's wriggle our fingers and toes. Evely, if you could get the bell. And we're going to come back to this space of the Sangha. You can open your eyes and Evely will sound the bell. Unmute. You need to unmute. We are here. We are a community. We are Sangha, those who come together to celebrate, exchange the teachings. And Evely, I spoke a little bit about Tara before, and Evely's going to lead us in a chant or a song to Tara. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, how am I sounding now? Because I turned up my volume. Arisika, you muted yourself.
Put it in the chat if you can hear. You're having problems still.
Okay, great. I turned my microphone up. That was what it was. So the Tibetan chant to Tara, when we address her, is Om Tare, Tu Tare, Ture Soha. Om Tare, Tu Tare, Ture Soha. So I'll sing the line twice. The first time you can listen to me, and the second time please chant along, even though you're muted. That way you can sing as loud and strong as you want, asking for the blessings of Tara to remove delusion and any illness or any pain and suffering that you may have in this moment. She's the activist goddess, the one who is ready to leap up to come to your aid, the green Tara. Om Tare Tu, Tare Tu Re Soha. With me. Om Tare Tu, Tare Tu Re Soha. Om Tare Tu, Tare Tu Re Soha. With me. Om Tare Tu, Tare Tu Re Soha. 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 With me. Om Tare Tu, Tare Tu Re Soha. Om Tare Tu, Tare Tu Re Soha. Om Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha.
The chant to Tara is a dharma talk in itself. It reminds me that catastrophic climate change, drought, war, famine, all these are things that have been known to humanity since early, early times, certainly since the time of the Buddha, and that the prayers to Tara, the prayers to the Buddha, are prayers to improve our human condition. I don't think anyone doubts that we are living in challenging and difficult times. And while it's often said in the West that this is the first time that the entire planet has been threatened, I look at it a little differently. The planet was a ball of ice for millions of years, a ball of fire. The earth changes. It's what she does. The dinosaurs flourished for 165 million years. I don't know that we as a species are going to have as long a run as the dinosaurs. And certainly for many, many indigenous peoples all over the world ended. For some of the indigenous nations on the West Coast, on the East Coast, 90% of the people died. And yet, indigenous people are still here. Even though the US government still wants to wipe the Ohlone out of existence by refusing to recognize that they are a tribal indigenous nation, they are still here. But change has come. Change of habitat, change of waterways, increases in drought. What do we do? And also these pandemics of hatred, of greed, aversion, ignorance, that are often the responses that we have. Oh, there's not enough water at the water hole. We're going to go and invade that next village and take their water. In times of shortage, we sometimes fall back in the delusion that it is only me and mine that is important. The first noble truth is that suffering exists, and that suffering exists because old age, illness, death, all those are an inevitable part of our human existence. And yet, even though the earth changes, the rivers change, when the Buddha was challenged in his right to achieve enlightenment, when he sat under the Bodhi tree, having vowed that he would not move until he had achieved enlightenment, when he was challenged by Mara, the deity of illusion, the Buddha is said to have placed his hand on the earth, calling the earth to witness his right to achieve enlightenment. And what does that mean? Why the earth? Why the impermanent, changeable earth? I'm going to read a quote from the late, great speculative fiction writer, um, Octavia Butler. All that you touch, you change. All that you change changes you. The only lasting truth is change. God is change. Now, we may not think of change as a God or a deity, but rather than put our faith in what changes the youthful body, the abilities that can so suddenly turn into disabilities, the specialness of new love. Does everyone here have had that experience? The moment when you fall in love and even the quirks, even the differences of the beloved are charming intriguing, wonderful. And then how that joy and innocence of new love shifts, how we've become older, more mature in our love, go through the periods when those quirks that we felt were so charming now are irritants. They're like that grain of sand as we walk. We need to embrace change. And in a time of mass extinction, we need to love what is right in front of us. We need to love, knowing that what we love may perish. Our beloved partners, our beloved children, our beloved friends. At 72, more and more of my friends are leaving. And I cherish those who have left words that are still here for us. I cherish those who have left teachings. In some circles, it is said that what is remembered lives. It's a chant sung by the pagan community at the Reclaiming Spiral dance every year. In some groups in Africa, it's said you have two deaths, the one when the physical body passes, and the one when no one remembers your name. We want our names to be remembered. We want our good deeds to be remembered. Our bodies may change, but the love in our eyes, the gentle touch of our hand, whether that is the youthful hand of the mother or the withered hand of the grandmother, the touch of love is present. We are here in a time of impermanence, of challenge, of change. And we need to embrace what my indigenous relatives call the good red road and the original instructions. We need to remember that we're here to tend for the earth, to tend and love the earth as long as it is with us. We are here to tend our kinfolk, to uplift the weary. We are here lifting as we climb, as Black folks say. We are here carrying our elders on our back, our children in our arms as we flee floods and fire and devastation. We are here to reach the helping hand to those in need. We are here to tend the good. We are here to love what is perishable, impermanent, and imperfect. We are here to love this body that aches and changes and bleeds and ages. We are here in this impermanent, imperfect moment, standing at the edge of the precipice, not knowing what is to come. Mary Oliver says, when death comes like the hungry bear in autumn, when death comes and takes all the bright coins from his purse to buy me and snaps the purse shut, when death comes like an iceberg between the shoulder blades, I want to step through the door, full of curiosity, wondering, what is it like? What is it going to be like, that cottage of darkness? And therefore I look upon everything as a brotherhood and a sisterhood. And I want to say as kinfolk of all gender. I look upon time as no more than an idea. And I consider eternity as another possibility. And I think of each life as a flower, as common as a field daisy and as singular. Each name as comfortable music in the mouth, tending as all music does toward silence. Each body a lion of courage, and something precious to the earth. When it's over, I want to say all my life, I was a bride, married to amazement. I was the bridegroom taking the world into my arms. When it's over, I don't want to wonder if I have made of my life something particular and real. I don't want to end up simply having visited this world. I don't want to find myself sighing and frightened or full of argument. So let's just think. Let's be silent for a moment. What has come up for you? What words or phrases in that poem? In the statements by Olivia Butler? In the songs and chants by Evely? What in your one precious life are you going to take with you in this time of change and impermanence? What is alleviating your fear in this moment? What is bringing you joy? The Buddha taught us that joy, loving kindness, joy in the joy of others, compassion and equanimity, that in the midst of suffering, there can be joy. So let's have you enter some comments in the chat. Let's have you raise some questions or just share something that came up for you. We are here, and your thought or question may be just the medicine for someone else. And we'll take some silence, maybe letting our eyes gently close, letting our breath come in and out, feeling the weight of the body. There's something in the chat. I feel like I realized very early in my life that I am alive to live in constant change. When we meditate, thoughts arise, and that is so natural. Many of us think that we go into meditation and beautiful visions and boundless bliss arises. The day-to-day issues come up. Yes, meditating on worries. For so many of us, there are real worries. I have friends of Asian descent who are afraid to go out into the streets. They're elderly and they're women. And what can we do when our fears or worries come up? Well, first, as we sit in the moment, as we practice sitting, standing, or lying down, we let the worry arise. We realize it's there. We look, reign, recognize, allow, investigate, and non-identity. So meditating on worries, we let the worry arise. We allow it to be there. We investigate. Is it cause? What is its cause? Is it past pain and trauma? Is it present day oppression? And we see if there is space in our heart and being to not identify, to know the worry is there. It is real. And there is a part of us, our Buddha nature, our inner joy, that is beyond the worry. Ah, joy can be found in suffering is one of the comments. Sometimes it's hard to remember that joy in suffering is okay, and you don't need to feel guilty in it. It's said that the Dalai Lama was once asked why he isn't more angry at the Chinese, who destroyed so much of the spiritual life of Tibetans. And he is said to have answered, they have taken everything from us, but I will not let them take our joy. And I think that is a very good thing to remember. Um, Even in our suffering, there are moments of joy. We had a death when I was in my 20s and living in a commune. And, you know, I just cried a lot. The person who died was a very beloved member. And yet, we still had to get up and feed the children. They still played. We washed the clothes and I would find something of Rickard's and I would cry and then I would have a joyful memory. Everything changes. We're getting close to the end of our time. I want to thank you for all the comments that have been made. I'm going to ask Evalie to sing for us the Meta Chant. And I want to thank you. I know that there are many more questions that could have been brought up. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for coming. Evalie.
The Meta Chant is a chant of loving kindness to ourselves, to our friends and family, to those people or situations where we may have a bit of a challenge, and to all beings. So I will do the call and you do the response. So I'll sing with you as well. And just envision yourself as a happy child in this moment, singing to yourself. May I be happy. Join with me. May I be happy. May I be well. May I be well. May I be free from suffering. May I be free from suffering. May I be at peace. May I be at peace. And thinking of your family and friends, may you be happy. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be well. May you be free from suffering. May you be free from suffering. May you be at peace. May you be at peace. And thinking of a challenging situation or a challenging person or persons, may they, we'll sing this together. May they be happy, be well. May they be well, free from suffering. May they be free from suffering, at peace. May they be at peace. And now we chant for all beings everywhere. May all beings be happy, be well. May all beings be well, free from suffering. May all beings be free from suffering, at peace. May all beings be at peace.
We dedicate the merit of all the good energy we have raised to all sentient beings in all dimensions, in all times and space. May all be healed. May all be free. May all be loved. Thank you. Thank you.